So the Steam Next Fest just started, which is always about looking forward at the games that are coming out in the future, a bunch of cool indies, tons of new demos are available, but also there's always a sale that goes along with the Next Fest. So what I'm going to go over here is a bunch of games that you can get for a total steal for under $10 each right now. So let's not waste any more time and let's just get right into it. First game I want to point out is 75% off, that is $4, and that is Prodigal. This is a game that I actually mentioned in a recent video I did about top-down Zelda-inspired indie games, and this is a really cool one that just happens to have some cool, unique dating sim elements in a game like this. But even if you're not into that stuff, don't let it scare you off. This is a really awesome top-down action-adventure kind of Zelda experience, so make sure you pick that one up for $4. Incredible deal. Then we have another game here that I mentioned in a video, which was in one of my videos about games that are similar to Portal, and that is the Entropy Centre. This is actually one of my more favorite Portal-inspired indie games, and it's a really cool one. It's all about time manipulation and using and moving objects around the environment using this like time manipulation gun. That one you can get for 60% off, which is $8, and that is just, I think, an incredible deal, so check that one out if you're into Portal. Then we have Homebody, which you can pick up for $10, which is 50% off. And this one is kind of a psychological horror puzzle adventure story game. It's really hard to put a button on exactly what this game is, but it's mostly a psychological horror story experience that I really think you should check out if you're into kind of a indie aesthetic, kind of, you know, the hipstery kind of aesthetic, but in a survival horror context with some cool time stuff, and this is just, I think, a really good deal, so make sure you check that one out. Then we have one here that, if you're around my age, is probably a little bit nostalgic, and that is JellyCar Worlds. This is actually a pretty recent release that is pretty much the ultimate JellyCar experience. This one is 50%, so you can get this one for $4, but it's pretty much all the stuff that you remember from JellyCar, plus a bunch of awesome customization features, so check that one out if you have some nostalgia like I do for JellyCar. Then there is Capcom's reboot of Strider, which is a super underrated game. It's a really cool, fast-paced Metroidvania that just happens to be a reboot of one of Capcom's classic franchises. This one you can get for 70% off, which is only $5. This one is a super awesome game if you're looking for some lightning-fast gameplay. Then there is Double Fine's Stacking, which you can get for only $3, which is 75% off. And this game came out in what I consider the golden era of Double Fine games, when they were putting out a ton of really interesting, unique, experimental stuff, and this is one of my favorites of that era. Basically, this is an adventure game set in this very old-fashioned environment where you're playing as these Russian nesting dolls. And it's a really cool game where you're trying to change who you are for each different encounter. It's a really neat game. If this gameplay alone is interesting to you, I think you should spend the $3. I think $3 is worth a gamble. Moving on to Patch Quest, which is a game that you can pick up for $4. It's 75% off, and it is a really cool, like, monster taming, exploration, roguelike-y, top-down game where you path out your progression through this environment. This is another one that I have difficulty coming up with an elevator pitch for, but check out this gameplay, and if it catches your attention, this one's 75% off, so it's not much of a gamble to spend $4 on this one. The next one up here is one that you could probably afford by just selling some like Steam trading cards that you have in your account that you're never going to use or look at. This one you can pick up for 50 cents, and that is Drift Phonk 666. This is just a super over-the-top, more of a toy game than a game, if you know what I mean. It's not much to this one, which is why it's only 50 cents, but it's just a really unique, super aesthetically focused kind of experience. You're drifting around, it has a really great feel to it, so make sure you pick that one up for only 50 cents. Moving on to a Steam sale staple here with Stealth Bastard Deluxe. This is just a really fantastic 2D stealth game. In this one you can pick up for 90% off, only $1. This is a really cool game if you're into stealth 2D stuff, so make sure you check that one out. It's only $1. That's another one you could probably get with just like Steam Wallet stuff that just accrues over selling trading cards, so check that one out. Then we have Unusual Findings, which is $10, 50% off. This one's like a point-and-click adventure-y, classic 80s very nostalgic if you're into Stranger Things. It's kind of evocative of a similar vibe as that. It has 80s synthwave music to it. It has this really cool mystery and adventure to it, so check that one out for 10 bucks while you can. Then we have King of the Hat, which is one that you want to pick up if you're into games like Smash Brothers or local multiplayer kind of brawlers to play with your friends. Because this one's only $5 right now, 75% off. It also has like a free online like friend pass that you can play with. So only really you have to buy the game and you can tell your friends to get the free thing. So don't worry having to convince your friends to buy this game too, because they don't really have to. But yeah, if you're looking for a chaotic kind of local multiplayer, or I guess even online multiplayer game, this is one to check out, King of the Hat. Next one here is a bundle that I always beg and plead with my friends to pick up when they can when it's on sale, and that is Capcom's Beat 'em Up bundle here. This is a collection of some of the greatest 2D beat 'em ups of their era. There's 7 games in here, Battle Circuit being my favorite of them, and that alone I think is worth the price here of $10, which is 50% off. But also comes with a lot of other great classics. You know, you got Final Fight, you got a really good grip of classics in the genre here, so make sure you pick up the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle if you have any nostalgia for beat 'em ups, and you know, this is just a killer bundle, so make sure you get that. Then we have Serial Cleaner, which is another one you can get for 90% off, only $2 here, and this is like a 70s inspired game where you're pretty much just like the fixer, you know, you clean up after the bad stuff happens and you have to get in, get out. It's like a stealth game. Make sure you check that one out if you're into stealth specifically. Next up is Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. This one's only $4, which is 75% off, and this is a, you know, action adventure kind of search action Metroidvania-esque kind of game. You float around in a ship, and it's a really cool game in a really unique, bizarre aesthetic environment. Check that one out if you're into bizarre looking stuff. Then the last game in this video that I want to point out is yet another Capcom game, but that is the Ghosts and Goblins kind of soft reimagining, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. You can get it for $10, which is 67% off. This is another one that you really need to know what you're getting into if you get this one. It's a super hardcore, difficult game. Once you figure out the systems, you can really start to click with this one. If you have any nostalgia for Ghosts and Goblins, or Ghouls and Ghosts, you might know it as, make sure you check out Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Alright, and that was my video on the games you can pick up for crazy deals during the Steam Next Fest. Also, if you're looking for someone to go through and kind of pick out the coolest stuff from the Next Fest, make sure you go check out the channel No Caps. They always do a really great job of pointing out a lot of really unique, interesting stuff. I find out about a lot of really cool games from that channel, so go check them out if you want to find some cool suggestions about the demos from Next Fest. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, share it around. YouTube's not really been putting my stuff in front of a lot of people lately, so it'd be really meaningful to me if you shared my videos around. That'd be super cool. Also, if you're into Resident Evil, Zelda, Paper Mario, I made a bunch of videos recently that I think you should check out if you're fans of those series, because I point out a lot of really cool indie games that are inspired by them, and I think that these games would be right up the alley of the fans of these series. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.